They were elderly, single, had no kids, and when it came time to settle their estates, a Mesa couple was suddenly in charge, much to the chagrin of some relatives and friends. Here's our I-Team series, Who to Trust. The home is modest, clustered in the small community of Queen Valley off US 60, but the view, with iconic saguaros as far as the eye can see, breathtaking. It was Judy Hyland's. She had cancer. The 77-year-old wasn't married, had no kids, yet she was close with the Boehm family of Florence. Spent a lot of time with them, according to Brandon Boehm.
Every holiday, Christmas too, even though I don't like Christmas, she'd come over and buy presents. Okay, and torture me. She worked with my mom at my office bar in Florence, Arizona in the 80s.
So she's kind of like an aunt, right?
Oh, she's my aunt. Oh, my crazy aunt.
As for the house?
She was giving it to our family, not just to me. She's giving her assets to my mom.
Another Boehm family member said Judy put all of her wishes in a will earlier this year. 12 News was not provided a copy of that will, and everything changed in late September. Judy was taken to this hospital in Mesa. Brandon said he went to visit and met Jason and Shalise Millette.
And I'm like, who are you? Oh, I'm an attorney, and this is the power of attorney, my wife. And I couldn't figure out where they came from, how Judy would never say, because she thought they were her friends.
Next-door neighbor Phil Claysmith said he was also puzzled with Judy's new attorneys. He knew her for 8.5 years, got her mail, took out her garbage. He said she never once mentioned the Millets.
And all of a sudden, Brandon and his sister out of the picture. I'm like, wait a minute, Judy had this all set up.
The Millets say they have more than 10 years of experience in trust, wills, and probate law. 12 News called the Millet Law Office twice in November and sent an email request for an interview. They did not respond, so we went to their office.
I'm sorry, we can't come out and talk.
The Millets are not accused of doing anything illegal, but Jason Millet recently received a formal reprimand from the State Bar of Arizona regarding a 2024 case. Records show he used power of attorney documents to gain access to financial records after an elderly person had died. The State Bar also said when an attorney knowingly uses a void legal document for a potentially improper purpose, it damages the public's confidence that lawyers will act as honest fiduciaries. The bar also found that Millet's conduct was unethical, dishonest, and adversely reflects a lawyer's fitness to practice. Millet agreed with the punishment, a reprimand, at the end of October. There are other cases similar to Judy Hyland's. In our next segment of Who to Trust, we're going to tell you about the case of an 84-year-old woman who died on Christmas Day. Almost 2 years later, her heirs say they are still waiting for their full inheritance of hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Millets.
Yeah, I got a payment for less than a fifth of what, should be coming my way, and that's it.
That's Michael Zella-Husky, who lives in London, England. His stepmom, Carol Jean, died on Christmas Day, 2023, in this Gilbert retirement home. 4 days before her death, Jason and Shalise Millette became the personal representatives or trustees of her estate, worth more than $1 million, according to a family member.
I didn't have a chance to talk with him or know anything about him, do any background research on him. I didn't know where the will was. Is there a will?
Michael says he's not sure his stepmom was competent to sign her will and give control to the Millets.
I can't testify that she was 100%, 100% there and qualified to be taking, signing documents.
He and another family member told 12 News they've been waiting nearly 2 years for the Millets to distribute funds from the estate. Michael said his father died before his stepmom, and nearly all the assets had been sold by the family by the time she died from a tumor.
I cannot understand any delays. This shouldn't have taken that long at all because everything had been dealt with.
The Zella-Husky case is among 6 involving the Millets dating to 2007 that 12 News found. In each one, elderly Valley residents gave the couple control of their estates after they died. One case involved Patricia Lane. She died in 2009, and Jason Millet listed himself as personal representative according to court records. However, Lane's sister, Sheila Hofer, was upset at how things were handled. She filed a bar complaint against Millet, alleging he charged over $43,000 in excessive fees from her sister's estate.
They charged a whole bunch of extra money. They didn't come to her memorial service.
An arbitrator, however, only found that Hofer, who now lives in Virginia, was owed just more than $10,000 from the estate of her sister. Another thing upset her. Hofer said the Millets told her she would have to buy any of her sister's belongings despite caring for her.
She had a lot of clothes, and the clothes that she had were beautiful clothes. And I mean, if I wanted them, I could buy them, but they took them.
The Millets say they have more than 10 years of experience in trust, wills, and probate law, according to their website. 12 News made several efforts to reach the Millets. We called and emailed them and visited their Mesa office.
I'm sorry, we can't come out and talk.
They declined to comment, saying they could not divulge attorney-client privilege. In our final story in our I-Team series of Who to Trust, we talked to a Phoenix probate lawyer. She gives advice on how to get your financial affairs in order and how much it will cost.
I didn't know where the will was. Is there a will? Yeah, it was one of these things where the Zelahusky family, we didn't talk about finances. It led to arguments.
That's Michael Zelahusky. The I-Team reported how he has been waiting nearly 2 years to get his full inheritance. He said that's because the family didn't discuss what to do. A relative hired a husband-wife legal team in Mesa shortly before his stepmom died. Now, Jason and Shalise Millet are holding the money, he said, and court records show Shalise is the trustee.
And I'm going to have to fight. I have to get a lawyer to get this details out of him. That's my right to have,
The Millets declined several requests for comment. We'd like to talk to you about some of the probate cases that you're handling. Some of the heirs have been very concerned about.
I understand, but we can't.
Meanwhile, the vice president of the State Bar of Arizona told the I-Team there are ways to help avoid problems when a person dies and has assets.
I always recommend using an attorney. This is what we do all day, every day. I understand how to draft the documents. It just helps to make sure that your estate is done properly.
That's Kelsey Lane, a Phoenix attorney who specializes in estate planning. She said only about 1/3 of Americans have wills or trusts. So what happens if you don't have something like that?
If you don't have anything, then it goes by state law. So they'll look and see, do you have beneficiaries on your accounts? Do you jointly own your home? How are things titled? If you don't have that, then we look at the value.
Lane said the value of a person's estate will determine whether someone has to go through probate,
which is the court's process to transfer title.
Okay, and how long does that take?
Usually at least 6 months for probate, but typically 1.5 years to up to 2 years.
I also asked Lane what is the difference between a will and a trust.
A will is a one-time document. It transfers things at that moment. A trust is a more dynamic document, so it can help people assist you during incapacity during your lifetime. It also then directs what happens to your assets when you pass away.
So, what's the cost?
A will itself is going to be a few $100s to maybe $1,500 depending on the complexity. A trust is going to start at a couple $1,000s because a trust should always have a will with it.
She added the State Bar offers some free resources.
We have Stand Up for Veterans. There is Wills for Heroes for first responders, firefighters, police officers.
Thank you for watching our 12 News investigative series, Who to Trust. You can see more stories like this on 12 Plus and 12news.com. With photojournalist Chris Latella, I'm Craig Harris, 12 News.